So I'm excited 1 year later to be able to talk to you and kind of see. Tell me about that. Walk me through that. What?
So there's so much about this whole situation, the whole COVID, the lockdown, the way families are dealing with it, how they were affected by it. It's a lot, right?
Right.
It's something new to most of us. Never heard anything about a global pandemic before, far less experiencing it, right? Um, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself first. Um,
Let me say this. The floor is yours.
the floor is mine. So I can consider myself to be a very strong and resilient woman. I came from resilience, right? Lost my dad at age 11. My mom was just 29 years old when my daddy died, right? A single mother raising 4 children, one of which was just 2 months old when my father transitioned, right? So I watched strength. I was raised with strength.
Right.
So in this light, I should know nothing other than strength. I birthed 2 daughters, and I have to say they have some of the same resilience. However, in the midst of COVID, I've got a lot of stuff going on. They're talking about people who have pre-existing conditions, something you may not know, but I do have pre-existing conditions. I was diagnosed about 2008 with rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm also hypertensive, right? So all of these are these and others are some of the preconditions that they're asking people to pay attention to, because you're more than likely to be affected by COVID. But I am ruled by my strength and not what people tell me, right? So one of the things I don't do in my home is watch TV, right? So I don't pay attention to mainstream news. So and I think some of that was, because I'm not listening to that, it's not in my head. The fear is not developing. I just know we have something to deal with, and that is it.
Wow.
There was the point where they were telling everyone, go out and shop, buy food, make sure your home is well equipped. And I think I was out there a lot because I'm preparing. I'm a single mom, and I'm preparing for the shutdown with my children. So
Right.
somewhere along there, I might have been exposed. So after we locked down, I realized I'm getting sick. Some of the symptoms are, the cough, the dry cough. I got the dry cough. I started with feeling really lethargic, had the fever and all of that good stuff. And I was like, all right, I think I got COVID. So I did some research and I realized, but I decided I wasn't going to go to a doctor. I decided, and this my approach may not be the approach for everyone, but it's the approach for me. And I tell people, I trust my spirit. And so what my spirit guides me to is what I follow. I wasn't going to any doctor. Up to this day, I have never gotten a COVID test.
Really?
And I'm not going to get one.
Wow. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on. Put my seatbelts on. Hold on. I wasn't ready.
No, you're not ready.
Hey,
I'm also not going to get the vaccine. Yeah, that's a whole. But that's me. I'm guided by my spirit. So while I was sick, I decided I'm listening to like other news, like, people would send you all these YouTube clippings and, things that you should be doing, things you should pay attention to. So I made my hot soup, my fish soup. It was like spicy as ever because I love me some pepper. I said, this COVID gonna find somewhere else to go. It's not gonna stick with me.
Buddy. Okay, let's go. I'm ready.
So I'm making my fish soup. I'm taking my ginger teas, my turmerics, and all of that. So the herbs are really what I was working with, right? It did run its course, 2 weeks. One of the things that I did do, I shut noise out, right? So I didn't let anybody know I was sick, because I just know if I let people know, then they're gonna add the whole fear tactic. Oh, and I have this one beautiful friend. She's awesome, but she panics at the drop of a pin, and that energy was not well for me. So I would talk to her every day. She was talking to me, but she couldn't tell I was sick.
Right.
I would have our conversations. She would get off the phone. One day she heard me. She said, "Why you sound like that?" I said, "Sound like what?"
Right.
But I was dealing with with COVID. In the midst of all of that, my neighbor who lives right next door to me, she was dealing with her sister who was in the hospital, and she didn't do well. She eventually transitioned, and so those were parts of the reasons I decided I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not getting tested. I don't trust these tests. I don't know if the tests are real. So let me just take care of me. And so that's what I did. I doubled up on my vitamin Ds. I doubled up on my vitamin Cs. There was some other herbs and vitamins that I was taking, but that's what helped me. And then I have a friend, he kept telling me, you should get out of bed, although I wasn't staying in bed all day. I would put my music on during the day. I would dance. Once I felt good, I woke my energy up, and I would dance, keep myself moving. In the evening is when I got really lethargic, and I would, soak in a tub of Epsom salts, and then I would take myself to bed. And that was my ritual for 2 weeks. And here I am today.
Wow.
To tell the story that people don't have to die from COVID. I have my own conspiracy theories.
Many. Okay, you're not by yourself, Manny.
But I don't believe that all those people who they claim died from COVID really died from COVID. But that's my take on it.
Okay.
Right. But what I say to people is that COVID is not a death sentence. I'm going to share this, and I might be delinquent or irresponsible in saying it, but again, I'm led by my spirit. As long as I'm outside, I don't wear a mask.
Hold on, stop the presses, stop the presses. Because what I remember is that when I spoke to you in May, that's exactly what you told me. You were like, I'm outside, I'm not really rocking a mask. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm a novice, I'm an apprentice here. Word. I'm like, what do you mean by that?
To this day, I don't wear a mask. Part of my healing was going for walks. And during that time, it was good because nobody was outside. So I wasn't infecting nobody, and nobody was further infecting me. But I would walk in the park. I would walk to the beach. I would walk in the sand. And I would breathe in all the because I have to breathe. I don't know for other folks, but I must breathe.
Yeah.
And I just believe that these masks are also causing lung damages that we're not paying attention to, right? So that's what I did. To this day, I don't wear a mask as long as I'm outside. If I'm going into an establishment, I respect the rules.
Of course.
I will put on my mask. If I'm on a plane, I will put on a mask. But the minute I step outside, that mask is peeled off because I have to breathe. Wow. And so that's my take on Mr. COVID.
Wow. Do me, my daddy likes to use the terminology "hold my mule." So what I'm saying, hold my mule. Give me a second. Listen, and that's why I was excited to talk to you. Because even when I was talking to you back then, and we were talking recently, the effervescence, and I mean, I knew it had to be a particular kind of journey, and I must confess, the way you've broken it down is significantly different than anything that I've heard. I appreciate it. I know about the vitamin D. I know about vitamin C. I know about zinc. You mentioned turmeric. I understand about that. And what's been nice about these spaces that we've shared with so many people is there were a lot of back to the motherland recipes. Right? There was a lot of stuff. Now hold on, break it down. What exactly? I understand the bottle that it's in, but the thing is, I'm confident that it
ain't what it said it is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm confident there's no influence. You gotta say it right. I'm confident there's no influence of what the bottle says it is.
You're correct.
So my question to you, that bottle, first of all, let me see that bottle again. All right, cool. That bottle looks dangerous. What's in the bottle? Excuse me, let me do it right. If I may ask.
You may ask, and I will share.
I'm just saying, I want to make sure I stay in my lane.
This was part of my cocktail. Every night before I went to bed, I would drink a capsule of this because whatever my throat had to go. Right. I use saline, but my homemade saline. So I put a little bit of salt, some warm water, not to burn your nose, and I would wash that out because it's upper respiratory, right? I'm not a nurse.
Right, okay.
But these were all instinctive measures that I use. My cousin, it wasn't this bottle, I just got this bottle last time, but my cousin had given me some of this good stuff. This is weed.
Oh, nice.
Soaked in rum.
Even better.
And this is my vaccine.
Wow.
Yes.
And not for nothing, you seem like you feel pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good. No after effects. Mm-hmm. I still have what do you call it? What do you call it when you have the signs of COVID when you're tested?
Positive.
And I still have the antibodies.
Antibodies, yes.
Yes, I still have the antibodies, and okay. I was sick in March, April of last year. Spoke in May. Yeah, I was sick around April of last year, and the antibodies are still in me. So this is my own test again, right? So I said to myself, whenever you go to the doctor to get blood work and they ask you, is there anything you want me to test? So please test for the antibodies because I want to see how long it stays in my body.
Okay.
I can't go based on what Fauci is saying or Bill Gates is saying because I don't trust those people.
Right.
But I'm doing my own test. So every time I go to the doctor, please test for the antibodies. The antibodies up until about a month, 6 weeks ago, I still have the antibodies.
You know what's interesting to hear you articulate that? It takes me back to every community who has had potions, for lack of a better term, right? And you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Concoctions, and yes. we can couple with many synonyms, right?
Yes.
But the old country, the old people back in the day, they ain't had a lot of this stuff that folks is talking about today.
Exactly.
And what's funny is it's so funny to hear you say this because during this whole process, as it began, I said to myself, well, you know, we were talking about 1918, right? Spanish flu. I think that's what they were calling it back then.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, if you look at the pictures for those people during that period in time, they resemble so much of what we look like today. You see the suits, you see the ties, you see the madams in their dresses.
Yes.
Their little masks, you know. Yeah. Now, granted, they wasn't so cool and they had plaid and paisley masks. They didn't have all that. But
right. The mask.
They had their mask and they were functioning.
Yes.
And they didn't have all of the technology which we quote unquote have today. So the question, I think the question that resonates is if of these and I'm just talking about 1918. I'm not going to the historical values. I'm not going there.
Right.
We don't got enough time. What I'm saying is there was something that they had then which afforded them the opportunity to provide generations of people after them. Long before the technology.
Long before the technology. And I wonder what that is. Right? Because they still had to interact.
Right.
Right? You still had to go out and do grocery shopping. You still had to take care of whatever you had to take care of. Right?
Right.
Now we have all this technology. We zoom in. We in lockdown. You know, you have all, and we're falling apart.
Right. I think it's funny that you say that. I think one of the biggest challenges for me.
Yeah.
When this whole thing jumped off.
Yeah.
I said, now hold on. This is the land of the free.
Yeah.
The home of the brave.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means. But this is what I learned in school.
Right. They teach us everything.
Right. So I know how to regurgitate it. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
But I was blown away about the mere fact that I was having a discussion about people passing on by the tens of thousands.
All right. You want my take on that?
I hold on. Let me hold my mule again. All right, I'm ready. Go. Go.
There was a brother, right? I met this brother 2 weeks prior to the shutdown. I have a cousin. She's a fashion designer. She was in the midst of trying to put this fashion show together. And so we were going to different events, spaces. And there's this brother, Amarachi. Do you know the restaurant Amarachi? I don't think I'm familiar. Okay. So this brother is from Nigeria, right? Big, robust brother. But a lot of people allow fear to lead them. And so I heard that he was sick. He went to the hospital once. They turned him back. He went again. They turned him back. He went again. And by the third or fourth time that he went back, they kept him. I believe they killed that brother. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Those numbers that was reported, and then lately, now I'm hearing, there was some numbers that was stretched and all. I believe in my heart of heart and in my soul and soul, in my spirit that I allowed to guide me, they were getting rid of people.
Wow.
And then to make up their numbers, people who died of heart attacks, people who died of whatever, as long as you died during the pandemic, you're labeled as COVID. So they had to stretch their numbers. This is to install the fear. And they have accomplished it, because the way I see people going out there in droves taking this vaccine, I am so disappointed. There's not even a pushback. And we can't even say it's a vaccine, it's a trial. I don't get it. I personally don't get it.
I knew I knew that speaking to you was going to be a robust conversation. I knew that.
Okay.
I knew that. You just said a lot of things. One of the reasons, let me you had a chance to kind of give me some background as to who I have the luxury of speaking with. The encouragement campaign was birthed during COVID. Inspiration came that there was a lot of people who were suffering, and grace of God, you were here, so you're healthy, so you need to be helpful. I don't know what that means, but in the initial stages, we didn't know what it meant. Okay. Right. And you're like, and I tell a story often to those people near and dear to me. I said, I woke up in the middle of the night and something said the encouragement campaign. And I got up and said, let me do this and do that. And I said, encouragement campaign, I need to be encouraged. I'm trying to say for real. I was like, I need to be encouraged. I mean, I'm sitting now, unlike you.
Yeah.
I was watching the 24-hour cable media. So you who stepped away from that deliberately understood why you deliberately did that. Whereas me on the other end, and countless people were trying to do what we learned in school in terms of get the information and stay abreast.
Right. Whatever information that is.
That's too big. We have to do a part 2 for that.
Yeah,
but
yes.
What I'm saying, so this is what we were doing. And you're seeing it, and you're watching the refrigerated trucks, and you're looking around at your family. You've indicated you have 2 lovely daughters. I've got 2 wonderful sons, a wonderful wife, a wonderful daughter, I would say. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what does this mean? For me, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But what does this mean in the event that I'm not all right?
Yeah, just in the
right.
event.
Right, in the event. Now I ain't trying, much like you're led by your spirit. What that translates for me is I'm I'm a free spirit and I roll. I trust my gut.
Yes.
Right. And see, I have that same issue. Right? I had to choose the right raw. My first impulse was is I have that same flaw, but then I said no, it's not a flaw.
It's an issue. Yeah,
it's an issue. We'll go with an issue. And I realized that when you're a person who trusts your gut, you move a different way.
Yeah.
Right. You say, okay, I'm sitting right here right now, but this is by no stretch of the imagination the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yet and still you're watching this 24-hour media. So you're like, listen, I did the best I could during that period. Work with me.
Yeah.
Okay. But the encouragement campaign was built out of that because we said, okay, we wanna reimagine. We want to see things. Okay, we want to recalibrate. We're sitting here. We're concerned, for lack of a better term. But the most important thing of those R's is we wanted to rebuild.
Yes.
We understand that things will never be the same again. We understand that. But what do we do to rebuild? And so we went back and called ourselves trying to get some sleep again during that period, which was difficult to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. Plus we were going into the summer. Right. So when you go into the summer's a little more difficult to sleep anyhow. You got to have the AC blowing, and in the back of your head, you're like, hold it, this AC's blowing like 24 hours a day. What's the new one look like?
Oh, hello. Not to mention people losing their jobs, business shutting down.
But what's exciting for me? What's exciting is those folks who are able to have presence of mind, right? And that's what resonates from your conversation. Have presence of mind to say, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm being a navigation, right?
Yes.
I'm being navigational, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and at the end of the day, I've always been a survivor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to survive after it because I think many people seeing this gave up.
And
many people crawled under the bed. Many people started having and listen, there's no doubt about the mental impact of this has changed our universe.
Yes.
Right? Because mental health is now a very it always was.
Yeah. Right? And now it's
it's pronounced, right? Now we understand, and I think what makes it tangible for so many people is because we now understand why. There should be some mental concerns.
Absolutely. There are people who still afraid to go outside.
And once you're shackled, by that which is, in my estimation, once you're shackled by that which you can't touch, meaning your whole life long, there was an obstacle. We got the cell phone was an obstacle.
Yeah.
So I know what to do with that.
Yeah.
Throw it out. Right. The water bottle was an obstacle. Pour it out. So they were tangibles. Yeah. And so, in my estimation, the space that we were in is that you were talking about this thing that we couldn't touch.
Yeah. And we didn't understand.
We couldn't go in the schoolyard and fight it out.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't shoot at it. You can't knock it down. You can't blow it away. We don't understand it.
And I think that the most resonant piece is you were breathing it in. Now, you can't be mad. Yeah. You can't be mad about folks who weren't able to grapple with that.
Yeah.
You can't be mad, right? Because I had a hard time grappling with it.
Really?
No, I really just trying to,
process
in my head, you know,
Yeah.
process it, you know. And as you indicated earlier, between the jobs and working at home and now Zoom centric and food and you go into the lines of the supermarket and they're around the corner and all of these things coming at you.
It's a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. I agreed was a lot. But in the midst of, for me, again, in the midst of it being a lot, I learned to prioritize what a lot was and what I needed to be a lot in my life. And so for me, I needed to be alive. I needed to be strong. And I had one of my daughters, she's not living with me. She's on her own with her daughter.
Okay.
But I have a 17-year-old that I have to guide, right? And so I can't sit up here and be folding up in a bed and or croaking and having her be alone. So I had to fight for us.
Wow.
And so yeah. And I have a brother, my brothers, one of them, he's a true rebel. He's my riding horse.
Problem seems like, but okay.
Yeah. The last time the day, I think that was the last day because I started taking zinc and the pure zinc, and I think that was allowing me to bring stuff up. So the first day that happened, he said to me, he said, "Yeah, you got rid of that shit." And I said, I think I did. And so I had some really powerful people behind me as well. You know, my boyfriend, he was not here. He was in Atlanta, right? And so every morning he would call and check in. Did you take your vitamins? Did you drink some tea? Get up a bed. He was the one who said, soak in the Epsom salts. So I had these people around me.
Support.
Yeah. So going to the hospital definitely wasn't an option. And then my one of my childhood friends, she was sick while I was sick as well. So we would call each other. We were each other's support. The other people, they were not allowed in because they would bring the fear. They would create that other energy that we didn't need. I needed to get well.
Right.
And, yeah.
Right. You know, it's really funny. It's funny to hear you say that, you know, because I'm a firm believer that what's in here dictates everything about me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna get personal. We have a private phone call for that. But you know what I'm saying? Anything that I believe here.
Yeah.
And don't let it get here.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning mine first, but if it becomes a part of your heart is saying that that's what you're supposed to do, then there's nothing that stops you.
Yes. And I have become so adamant about all that stuff and for me now COVID is just like noise because you can't have a conversation with somebody who's, oh, you don't wear your mask, you're doing this. Yeah. And I'm like, just leave me alone. It's become, for me, talking about COVID is like talking about politics or talking about religion.
Wow.
We all have our views on it.
Right.
And I am not sold by what they're selling me. Wow. Right?
Gotcha.
I am to the point that I told my 17-year-old when they were talking about blending learning. And she's like, Mom, I want to go back to school. I said, no. Because outside of COVID, you're not going to be sitting down in a classroom breathing underneath this mask all day. I said, by the time I'm done with you, you're going to need a new lung, and you can't buy those. So I said, no, you're going to do remote learning. At first, it was a little frustrating for her, but she got adjusted. Right. And I went further to say to her, and I stand by it today, if it becomes mandatory that my child have to take a vaccine to go to school, that's the end of school as she would know it.
Wow.
That's how serious I am.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conversation and apprehension and a lot of things behind the vaccine. I certainly understand both sides of the spectrum. You know, I definitely do. Wow, you see, this is what we call the Obama pause. You know how Obama he would pause.
Yeah.
That was, they meant you to know that was the Obama pause.
Yeah.
Like, you
know. Yeah.
And then you follow up by saying, let's move on.
Yeah.
You know, what I will say is I'm so celebratory of energies like yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because you know, one of the things about these COVID survivor stories is that my intention is for folks to be able to view them globally.
Yeah.
And we need to understand that some facsimilation, if you will, of COVID is going to be around for a very long time.
But COVID has been around for a very long time.
See. Well, let me see if I can clean it up. The craziness that we had to see, I don't think is ended.
Yes.
Let me go layman on you.
Yes.
I think it's ended. And the thing is that what about that person who is at the cusp of feeling a little, but knows that there's a place where they can come and they can meet some people who are able to talk about and articulate and I don't care what your background is, who you are, what you look like at the end of the day, be able to talk about your experience. But what happens to that person some time from now who's able to see it and say, you know what, because of what Kathleen is saying, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can push through.
Yeah.
I can see after this is done.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people aren't able to see after this is done. And so what they do is they lay down.
So I'll share this too. So one of the things, and this is going to be two pieces. So one of the things that we really need to have a larger conversation with is building of immunities, right? So there's a huge conversation about the vaccine, but there's not a conversation about immunity building. And that for me is more important. And there was research information out there. They were talking about the fact that, you know, many people were dying because of the lack of vitamin D. And what have we been doing? We've been locked up, right? With very limited sun, right? Some of us don't even know about taking vitamin D supplements, right? And then so because of that, for the research shows that this was causing the clotting of blood, right? Yet there's no conversation about building one's immunity. Where do we go from here? First, we need to heal ourselves physically. We need to be healthy. We need to be healthy in thinking. We need to be healthy in our bodies. We just need to be healthy, right? Mental health. We're talking about mental health. We need to be we need support groups of people who are stuck inside and afraid to go out, afraid to take off their masks just to breathe a little ocean air, right? Then we're talking about the people who have lost income, who mainstream income has been nothing but one source and unable to either recreate or restructure. And so that's some of what I'm doing right now, because you know where I've been with Jordi Construction forever. I eventually landed a one project that I had to walk away from, but nonetheless, it was the beginning for me. I had a call this morning from a client who started a project with a contractor that's just, the only thing he's done is put up the green fence. That's it.
Wow.
And she's been waiting for him for over a year.
Good old construction.
But she called me and she said, I'd like you to take over the project.
Nice.
I'm claiming this.
Right.
When I land this job, this is a over $300,000 job. Nice. This is what I've been waiting for. And this is happening. I started that other project in the midst of COVID. This started last August, right? Here I am, still going through. I'm writing it. My brother, he owns a hair salon on Fulton Street, Deluxe Gallery. I don't know if you ever heard of Deluxe Gallery.
Not familiar, but okay.
Okay, so he owned a salon, a Deluxe Gallery on Fulton. Midst of COVID, he had to shut down. He's losing business. When they decided that, salons and barbershops could open up, people not coming out, people not going to events, there's nothing happening. He started to lose money. Mm-hmm. But you have to be able to be sharp. You have to be able to think. You have to be able to restructure, right? We all don't have it. Mm-hmm. But what he did, he had to break his lease. The landlord was upset, but he said, he's great. I love the way he do business.
Right.
There was a brother who rented half the space. He was a barber. And he made a proposal. He said, look, I'm walking out. You could take over the lease. I would leave all the furniture in here for you. You could start this. And so he was able to get out of the lease without issues, right? And then he decided he's going to work from home. He had me come in, renovate his apartment, because nobody's they're not coming out to renovate your apartments. Mm-hmm. So I got to renovate his apartment to a standard where now he's doing his work from his apartment and making, I wouldn't say more money, mm-hmm. but close to it, because, before he would have to pay all the overhead, the rent, the water, the this, the that, right. He's not doing that anymore. The money that he makes goes in his pocket. So there's something that we have to look at in terms of survival skills. And I think this is a larger conversation. Where do we go from here? Because a lot of these businesses are going to fold and they're not coming back. Mm-mm. What are we going to do?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, just so I don't forget. Mm-hmm. One of the theme songs, for lack of a better term, mm-hmm. me. No, sorry. I digress.
Yes.
What? Hold on, let's put a pin here. Mm-hmm. Folks need to know mm-hmm. that you and I have been talking, roughly about 2 years, right?
Yes.
But we've never put a face with the name.
Never. This is the first time. This is the first time.
Mm-hmm. So thank you for having coffee with me. Okay?
No, we haven't.
Oh, well, I'm having a little water, but okay. But what I was about to say is that one of the resonant themes for me during mm-hmm. COVID, with everybody who I had the luxury to be close enough to talk about it, mm-hmm. I said, guys, we're and I don't mean to be redundant. I may have said this earlier. We're healthy, so we have to be helpful. Right. Let's strip it down now to the bone.
Yes.
It's not about the money. Mm-hmm. It's not about the car.
That's
it's
right.
It's not about the house. It's not about the suits. It's not about the dresses. Mm-hmm. It's not about the trips. It's not about none of that.
It's this.
Let's strip it down.
Yeah.
And once we strip it down, let's begin to think about what that innate gift
mm-hmm.
that we all have. The Creator gave us all a gift.
We all have it.
But we've been busy, right?
Yeah, we forget it.
Right? We've been busy. So,
mm-hmm.
so this COVID period for me was mm-hmm. the resident theme is, listen, guys, let's plant some seeds. Mm-hmm. I know you don't want to go in the field right now and plant seeds, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. but I beg you, plant the seeds right now so that when this is over,
yes, you're gonna have some growth. Mm-hmm.
Right? When this is over, then this way, I don't care if it's a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, if you can have the stick-to-itness, as my daddy would say.
Yes.
You have the stick-to-itness and plant those seeds, then you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh my God.
Because what it does is the seeds, which represent growth and greenery, mm-hmm. does that something for your spirit.
It does something for your spirit. Yeah. It's encouraging.
It allows your spirit to say, oh, there will be another day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you'll be pleasantly surprised on the other side of it.
On the other. Yes.
And then you'll be sitting there and say, oh my God.
I did that?
How did it happen? How did that happen?
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, though, you know, we came to the table with it being very, whatever it was, we all been through it. We understand it's still a very delicate time.
It is.
We still have to be very careful. We still have to be very smart. But I think that the real thing, what I heard you talking about earlier, is a self-love piece. In my estimation, each and every person has to have a self-love piece.
Yeah.
Which means I love myself so much. And what made me think about that is when you talked about your daughters and said, not for nothing, I can't do this. I can't. I got my babies, so I'm not really sure what the media are talking about.
Yeah.
That's relevant to me. I got my babies. And I think that the more I think that there's been some unearthing, if you will, right? And I think now it's time for us to be in our perch.
Yes.
On a look.
Yes.
Right? I think scripturally it says, be still and know I'm God. Shut your mouth for a minute. Shut your mouth. Just shut it, please.
Yes.
Your mouth. You've been talking too much. Shut up. Right? And just sit there and try to see, what is my gift? What manifestations, what dreams, what beauty that has been contaminated and camouflaged because of the minutia that's all around us. What is my, now I'm down to the bone, but I know I'm going to be on the other side. What is my gift?
Well, yeah.
That's what I got.
Well, I'm still working out that gift.
Well, listen. The beauty about the gift is that it's a lifelong process.
Oh my God! And it's not that I don't know the gift. Right. I know the gift. I know the gift, and the gift is so simple for me, but great. My gift is that I'm able to touch people in such a positive way. And it's so simple. I don't need much. I don't have much.
Okay.
Sometimes my gift comes with a hug. Sometimes my gift comes with my words, my essence, my energy. That's my gift. And I give it freely and abundantly. Because some people have never experienced that gift. Just to receive it, they haven't experienced it.
See, Kathleen, listen, you getting entirely too deep, because the thing that, and I'm not mad at you, don't get me wrong, but the things that you're saying are so powerful, because so many people have not ever experienced an authentic hug. Some people have not experienced, and I'm gonna keep using authentic, not because I can't come with something. I want to use authentic. Some people have never experienced an authentic, kind word. Yeah. So many people have not had the opportunities for somebody that said, "Wow, you did a good job.
Awesome. Yeah. You look beautiful today." Sisters turn up their nose. I look at sisters and I just, you give them a crown, like, oh my gosh, you shine today. Yeah. We need that.
Yeah. You mentioned to me, and again, I know my time is well spent, so I'm not gonna hold you but another couple minutes.
Yeah.
You told me that you were looking at some other stuff creatively, right? I think, you can't expound on that in any way, or should we wait?
Listen, I don't know where this comes from, but I could never stick with one project. I'm working on a million projects all at once.
Welcome to my world.
So I graduated from Pratt Institute with an architectural degree. I'm in partnership, and just today we were talking because she said, I think I'm going to move to Florida. You may have to look for another partner. And I said, no, I'm not. I would not partner with anybody else. If we have to close this chapter, we close this chapter. But I also started a publication many years ago. It's still up live online. I started it as a hard copy, giving recognition to diverse architects around the globe.
Nice.
And that was something it's my baby, but it requires so much from me. It requires money. It requires a team of people. And it was just me. So I left it in a very nice looking phase online.
Nice.
So one day go back to it.
Good.
And then I started Jordi Construction. So there's many little projects and then I have my 17-year-old. She's my project right now. Right. Because she, let me tell you something. When I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, I was forced into early retirement. That part you don't know. So I am retired at 55.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. But it was no, this is how I look at life, right? Some people would probably look at this as a curse. I'm diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Let me tell you, I don't even take the drugs they give me. Again, because I'd done my research. My daughter at the time, she said, Mom, I have a friend, her mom had rheumatoid arthritis. You should talk to her. So I said, how's your mom doing? And she said, oh, my mom's dead. I said, dead from rheumatoid arthritis? And she said, yeah, from the drugs. And I said, okay, well, that one, I will die one day, but it won't be from that.
Oh, let me ask you a question. What'd you say? I want to talk to her.
So again, doing my research, and I discovered that I don't have to live on medication, that I just have to change my diet, eat the right foods, and I would eliminate the excess inflammation within my joints. That's what I do, right? But hey, the government said I'm disabled, whatever.
Okay.
I don't claim it. Right. So now, so being home, I'm saying all of this to show you where the blessing lie, right? I'm able to be home for my daughter, be here with her, take her to school, give her quality life, prepare meals for her. She's getting the best of me right now.
Beautiful.
So in the midst of her getting all that nurturing, there was something else that was nurturing within her. And she's an artist, right? So she used to doodle in this little book, and one day I said, let me see what you, and I saw these amazing things that my child was putting on paper, and I said, I need to work with you.
Nice.
Yeah. So these are all my blessings. And there's one last lesson I'll share with you. While I was sick in bed with all the pain from rheumatoid arthritis, this was where the lesson came. I was trying to get to a rheumatologist. I called the doctor's office and she said, what's the matter? What's the matter? And I said, I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. And she said, you should be grateful for what you have. And I said, what the hell this lady told me? I'm in so much pain. She told me I'll be grateful for what I have.
Wrong answer.
But it was a good
survey
answer.
says wrong answer.
So she said, I was diagnosed with cancer. She had a mastectomy. She said, every month I have to be doing tests. She said, this is why I say to you, be grateful for what you have. So I was grateful for RA. I'm living with RA, but not with RA, because I know how to live with it.
Right.
And just embracing the blessings that came from it.
You know, your story is powerful. I'm so excited that though we hadn't had a chance to be face to face for 2 years, and then we finally made face to face on Zoom. I'm looking forward to meet you face to face. I mean, I don't know. But what I will say is this: the time that you spent with me tonight is one which I hope is mutually that which will be cherished.
Absolutely. It was beautiful.
Well, I'm elated. I'm in school we talk about exponential. Yes. I'm elated exponentially. And the reason that I'm elated exponentially is because I had a chance to further understand a person that I've worked with for some time, but I'm thinking about the people who would have never heard a story like this.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I was able to share this. Absolutely.
Well, listen. Let me say this. Hold on. This is what they say on TV? On TV, they said, our sponsor makes us say this on behalf of the encouragement campaign. No, all jokes aside, I always say this: it don't got to be a long time to be a good time. But
Right.
I hope this will not be the last time.
The last time, absolutely.
I hope not. Well, first of all, I'm gonna be talking to you during the week either way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Either way. But what I do want to say is that I think the inspiration and the elevation of spirit that your communication is brought to the table is going to be a blessing for so many.
Oh, I'm grateful for my words to lend a blessing to somebody.
Yeah, I like to say if it's only one person.
Oh yes, oh yes.
If it's only one person.
And please, as you journey with this, please encourage people to build your immunity, please.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm going to talk to you about that offline. I want to see how you can partner with me to help people to build their immunity.
Okay.
Listen, I will let you go. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go jump on another Zoom.
I'll do what you do. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing this with me. Have a wonderful evening.
You too now. Be well.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.